I was standing in my kitchen when the box arrived. Plain cardboard, no return address, my name written in my sister's handwriting. Too neat, too careful, like she'd practiced. 5 years of silence, and she chose my birthday. I didn't open it right away. I knew better than to touch gifts from people who only give when they want something back. When I finally lifted the lid, the smell hit me first. Vanilla, butter, sugar, handmade cupcakes. Frosting piped with tiny flowers, the kind she used to make when we were kids, before loyalty became conditional. I stared at them longer than necessary, letting the past try and fail to soften me. The phone rang the next morning. I answered on the third ring. "So," her voice was light, too light. "How were the cupcakes?" I took a sip of cold tea, let it sit on my tongue. "Oh," I said calmly, "I gave them to your husband." Silence. Then, "What?" Her breath hitched. "What do you mean you gave them to him?" I leaned against the counter, watched the city move outside my window. "He said they were delicious." The line went dead quiet. Then she screamed, "What? What the hell did you do?" I closed my eyes. That sound? That was the payoff. She used to be my protector, my older sister, the one who swore no one would ever hurt me as long as she was around. Then she married him, and I became expendable. It didn't happen all at once. Betrayals never do. They drip, slowly, quietly. By the time you notice, you're already soaked. Money missing, conversations stopping when I entered rooms, decisions made about me, never with me, and him always watching, always smiling like he knew something I didn't. The final cut came 5 years ago. I found the documents by accident, or maybe not. I don't believe in accidents anymore. A shared account, my signature forged, a transfer routed through his company, my inheritance, redirected. When I confronted her, she didn't deny it. She just said, "You don't need it like we do." That was the day I stopped being her brother. That was the day I became quiet. Pain is loud at first, then it teaches you how to listen. I didn't confront, I didn't threaten, I didn't warn. I planned. I hired an accountant who didn't ask questions, a lawyer who understood silence, a private investigator who specialized in people who thought they were untouchable. I learned about shell companies, offshore accounts, voting trusts. I learned how men like my brother-in-law hide money and how they get sloppy when they think they've already won. Every month I documented, every email, every transfer, every lie. I rebuilt what they stole. Then I built leverage on top of it. They thought my silence meant defeat. It meant patience. The cupcakes weren't poisoned. That would have been too simple, too loud. They were informative. Inside the box, beneath the tray, taped carefully where only someone eating them all would find it, was a flash drive, encrypted, password protected, labeled "For You." He found it that night. I know because he called me at 2:13 a.m. "What is this?" he demanded. His confidence cracked, just a little. I smiled into the dark. "Evidence," I said, "and a courtesy." "Of what?" "A head start." By Monday morning, the board convened an emergency meeting. Not his board, mine. The retirement trust, my retirement trust, activated its voting rights at 8:01 a.m. 76% ownership. They never bothered to check who controlled it. They assumed I was gone, broken, poor. "You're outdated. We're done here," the CEO hissed across the glass table. I nodded once. Understood. That was the moment the room shifted. Legal counsel leaned forward. "Before we proceed," she said, We need to address the voting majority. Confusion rippled, papers shuffled, phones buzzed. Someone whispered, "Who just fired the person who owns 76% of the shares?" I didn't smile. I stood. My sister watched the news that night, her husband escorted out of his office, accounts frozen, investigations announced, fraud, embezzlement, conspiracy. She called me again, crying this time, begging. "You ruined us," she said. I corrected her. "No, I ended you." Silence, the kind that stays. I didn't do this because I hated them. I did it because betrayal should never be comfortable, because silence, when used correctly, is louder than revenge screamed too early. I finished my cold tea, looked at the empty cupcake box. Justice isn't messy when you plan it right. It's clean, controlled, and irreversible. And for the first time in 5 years, I slept.